Hey, it's John and Mike from brew-stews.com. So we've got another new beer in front of us. Looks yellow, looks cloudy. What do we got?
It's a Belgian Witte beer. So this is the history of this beer. I bought a kit from, I think, Northern Brewer, and I got the wrong yeast strain. So I guess we talked about it on video that I thought this would be a great opportunity to experiment with culturing yeast from commercial beers. So I got a whole bunch. I got 3 different white beer varieties that I knew were bottled conditioned, including Allagash White, and resuscitated the yeast from the bottle dregs, and had 3 different starters for those three different beers. And I got 2 of them that actually work out. There was one that just didn't work at all. And so, using the kit with the grains that I got from Northern Brewer along with the hops, I used the yeast that I cultured from the commercial beers, and this is the resulting beer. So, what do you think?
Well, it's interesting. The very first aroma I get out of it is a balance between there's a grain, like a raw grain quality to it, but I also get the hint of like coriander or chamomile in there.
It's the coriander that came in the kit.
So that's interesting. Mm-hmm. And then when I taste it, I actually almost get like the first impression is a vanilla-like note, and there's definitely a like a dry oatmeal taste to it, which might be that raw grain aroma I'm getting.
Yeah. Flaked oats were in this recipe.
But the it's got a pretty dry finish. Like it's got a very dry finish. It's got a slightly tannic bitterness in the background, which isn't unpleasant, but it's there. But there's no on my palate, I don't get much fruitiness or a lot of citrus out of it. I just get...
Really?
I love that aroma, though. That aroma is fantastic. Huh. Yeah, and you put a touch of... You use the secret trick, a little touch of flour in here to maintain the cloudiness?
I sure did. Because all my other white beers, in probably 2 months' time, in the refrigerator cleared up.
I think that's what I can smell. I think I can smell it and taste it a little bit, that flour presence. It's not bad, but if I didn't know it was in there, I probably wouldn't.
I only put a half cup in there, I think. I was hoping only to keep the cloudiness and none of the taste that you get from the flour.
What's the hops in here?
Tettnang? You know what it was
Herzberger. Well, it definitely balances well because I think there's a spicy yeast component, and there's definitely a noble hop character, which is spicy too.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with the yeast character because to be honest with you, I mean, I knew in advance that you would use that Allagash yeast.
Yeah.
But I think I can taste it.
Oops. What, the Allagash yeast?
I think I can taste the Allagash yeast.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can taste that strain, and I don't know if I've ever really paid that much attention to. Or at least picked it out like that.
Yeah.
It actually speaks to a commercial brewery's primary, like their strain, that they use it for a reason. I mean, it tastes different than whatever the White Labs equivalent that we would normally use, like 400, WP 400, right?
I am, and I am happy that you said that, because now I'm thinking that any other time I make a white beer, let's back up just a second. I actually looked back at my brew year's resolution for 2014, and there are a couple styles that I've never made a great example of. White beer is being one of them. I have to say that this, to me, is a great drinkable version.
This is extremely drinkable. This is interestingly enough, I think it comes out more Hoegaarden-ish than it does Allagash White. Allagash White does have a mild citrus component to it. Yeah. I really like Allagash White, but it's not my favorite example of a white beer. Yeah. The couple times I've brewed them, I probably preferred to drink those than Allagash White.
Yeah.
But if forced to drink Allagash White, I mean, that's a great beer to drink. Yeah. But this almost has like that. It's a little more spicy and it's drier. Yeah. To me, that's Hoegaarden.
Yeah. Agreed. So the backup. So I was hoping to perfect this style, and I think a lot of my problems were, well, one, it would clarify over time. I had like this like clear beer, which didn't really fit the style, and I got points knocked off in competition because of that. But two, I don't think the yeast strains that I get from your big yeast manufacturers compete with what I was able to culture out of Allagash White's bottle dregs. So
because you could get the citrus note in here through recipe development too.
yeah. Well,
Right.
there is dry bitter orange peel in that.
True. It depends on the age of it and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I mean, I think Northern Brewers probably going through that stuff enough.
Yeah.
But you could zest
Yeah.
some orange
And I've
peel
tried
yourself
that
into
before,
it.
and I've never been able to.
The
get
way
the
this
same.
presents itself right now, it actually lends itself to the addition of a wedge.
Yeah.
So if you like that,
Yeah.
you could do it this way, have this drier yeast strain, and put the wedge yourself. And then people who don't like that and like it dry, so there's more versatility there. Like the wit beer that I make, I put a lot of orange peel in the recipe because I really like that.
Yeah.
But this is probably more versatile than that. You know, it's a really good. It's a very good example.
So yeah, I'm glad and I'm happy. I finally said that I have something that is, that's worth presenting.
One thing I'm happy about, I think wit beers can often come across as being smelling soapy or potpourri-like. There's none of that here. This doesn't have that.
Temperature control is a big part of it too. I had to do the old swamp cooler. I had a big tub of water, kept that in the 60s throughout the fermentation. So this is I guess the end cap of culturing yeast and putting it into the white beer. Made a good example of the style, and it might be my go-to way of fermenting white beers from now on. Like finding a good example of bottle conditioned commercial beers and culturing the yeast for my own home brewing purposes. So there you go, from John and Mike at brew-use.com. Brew on.
Brew on.